Hey, I'm Keri Hilson. This is BlackAmericaWeb Online.
So Keri Hilson is a star in Lifetime's new movie, Lust, A Seven Deadly Sins, and it's a saga produced by Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Yes.
Yes, it was. I just watched the movie and it was amazing. Like I love Lifetime #1, and to see you on screen again, it was amazing.
Thank you. I do. I love this piece. I really do. This is one that I've been waiting for it to come out since we filmed it. So I'm excited. I'm glad you enjoyed it as well. I think a lot of people will.
I think so too. So talking about filming, this is a star-studded film, like Latoya Luckett, Clifton Powell. Like, how was it on set? Oh, Tank. Like, it was a lot of familiar faces.
Tobias Trevelyan. Yeah, so many familiar faces. Clifton Powell. Yes. A lot of fun. I have to say. We shot this. This is one of the pandemic films, and so that last year we all were lacking in like the human interaction department. A little bit, especially those of us that might have been quarantined all year by ourselves. And I was one. So we had so much fun. It was so good. It was a safe environment. They made sure that we were safe. Everyone was tested every other day. And we had so much fun, but also it allowed us, because we were in the pandemic, there wasn't a whole lot of action going on outside of work. And so we were able to really pour ourselves into the portrayal of these characters. And so it allowed for a level of vulnerability, a level of bonding that we normally would not have been able to have. So I think it turned out to be the perfect storm for a great film.
Right. Let's get into your character, Tiffany. So I feel like Tiffany dealt with a lot in this movie, like self-discovery, like she needs to explore herself. How did you tap into her? Like, how did you relate to her? Did you relate to her in any type of way?
Yeah. Her biggest thing, I think, was, wanting to be seen by the person that she is in love with, truly seen, authentically, seen for who she is and what she believes in and what she likes, what she doesn't like, and as she seemed pretty clear on that. And it can be very daunting, very frustrating to be around, whether it's friends or it's romantic, whatever that is, family members, when you're having to constantly fight for them to see who you are, it can be very, very, very frustrating and difficult to manage. And I think it can also create the perfect storm for mishaps, mistakes to be made, when you are around people that don't see you. So I related to her in that way. Don't we all want to be seen? Haven't we all loved someone we felt didn't truly see us? They might appreciate the shell. They might appreciate things we do for them, things we afford them, or, who we are in certain aspects, but the true depth of who we are, our souls, haven't we all been there in any relational sense?
Right. Definitely, when I was watching the movie, I felt like a lot of women definitely probably feel this way. And I feel like, I don't know, in my opinion, not to give not saying enough about the movie, but I feel like her friends didn't help her like enough. So like, what type of advice would you have given Tiffany?
Yeah, her friends, I think her friend, it's like what worked for Sonia worked for Sonia.
Right.
And she was trying to do her best to give advice that, some people just got to touch the fire. That's what I'm really getting at. Like, some people really need to know the consequences. They need to live the consequences to their decisions on their own. You can't save everyone by just telling them your experience. But in this case, my friend hadn't even experienced this. You know what I mean? Yeah. She's just kind of living. It's like, well, how do you even know? This is what, right, what you're telling me. So yeah, I didn't have a lot of moments where I would have been the friend who supported her no matter which Sonya was. And I would have also given her the like,
girl, you crazy.
Well, more like, this could go very bad.
Right.
I love you regardless, but just know this could get real ugly. I'm the friend in real life that's like, hey, I'm gonna give you the real, and if you decide not to take it, I'm not gonna love you any less. I'm just gonna say, okay, well, you know, you got to touch that fire, and I'm gonna support you through it. Try not to make it the biggest mess you've ever made. Like,
well,
contain the fire.
Well, what's the biggest mess you've ever made? Like, what's something you've been like, I shouldn't have done that, but you learned so much from it?
So much in career and personal life, relationships, being with, staying in relationships for too long, or, you know what I mean? We make those mistakes constantly, I think, with good intention a lot of times. Right. I just can't even chuck it down to one, but I will say, because you learn so much from those times when you have the burn mark to show, I don't need to be touching this fire. When you have it and you had to wait for that to heal, and it, you know what I mean? Whether you had to wear a cast or whatever you went through as a result of your decision, you get to a point of not regretting it.
Right.
And not even labeling it as the biggest mistake you've ever made. You might say then that it was the biggest blessing that you ever needed to, you know what I mean, be blessed with.
Yeah.
So out of that, you learn wisdom, you learn, the virtues.
Right.
A lot of times come from mistakes. So, yeah.
Did you learn anything new about love while playing Tiffany?
Let's see. Did I learn anything new about love?
Or something you may want to take into a relationship?
Yeah, just, I think to fight to be seen, is my biggest takeaway. I'm going to keep saying that because it's so important. You know what I mean? It is. It's so important. You will find yourself so unfulfilled, by not being in a relationship, not being completely, genuinely yourself, in your relationships. So that's definitely a takeaway. I cannot allow myself to be in a position where I'm having to portray someone else in my own skin. You know what I mean? I can't live like that, and it's not lasting. And even when you try to change things about yourself for someone else, when you do it for someone else, this is another thing I learned. Right. It's fleeting. You have to want to grow and make those shifts. You got to want that yourself. If you do it for someone else, it's not lasting.
And something that when I was watching the movie, I was just like, okay, how she said, she had been with that many people. And I know I have some friends, I'm in my mid-20s. So I have some friends that's like that. So what advice would you give women who want to explore their sexuality more?
Be single. That's number one. Don't do that in the context of a relationship. Let things go if you must explore. I don't think it's a bad thing, but do that safely also. I don't think it's a bad thing, but there are ways. You don't want to do anything that could damage your, say, reputation, your career. Be wise about your explorations. Right. But I do also think that in this day and age, having some sort of experience is best to have, or maybe not as best, but it's something that turns out to be useful, because it helps you learn what you like, what you don't like, what you accept, what you won't accept. So having that relational experience, and nobody needs to marry super young. Like, I believe that there are certain lessons that you must have, certain pains you must feel whether it's the pain of making mistakes, the pain of losing someone due to those mistakes, the pain of whatever that is, the pain of, you know, understanding of the universal laws like karma and things like that. Like, I think it's so important to have those notions and then become accepting of yourself and happy and truly in alignment with who you were made to be before you commit your life to someone else. So explore the world. Don't be tied down too young. Explore safely and responsibly and wisely. But I don't think it's a bad thing.
And what are you most excited about for people to see in this film, Lust?
I'm excited for people to see my growth as an actress. This is one of the more vulnerable roles I think that I've ever taken, where it stretched me and it forced me to grow. And I think that people will see that. And I'm really excited for that, for myself and for others that are watching. It also makes me anxiety because, you know, there's crying scenes and stuff. There's love making scenes and there's all kind of stuff. Now it is Lifetime, so it only went so far as the editing. But the experience itself was just really one that it excites me to see what the finished product. You've seen it before me. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I'm super excited for everybody to see this movie. It's going to be good. I can't wait to live tweet it because it was juicy. I feel like it's for the women.
Yeah, I know one thing. I won't be live tweeting it because I don't think I'm good at that because I'm so focused. Maybe in between, maybe on commercials.
Commercials. That's what I do. I have to watch it, then I'm like in the middle of commercial.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see it. And also my favorite other thing is that it's a socially responsible piece. It's a spiritually responsible piece.
Yes, it is.
And I love doing work that means something, and that you can learn from. And it's a cautionary tale, you know. It's a saga of the 7 deadly sins and what your life could turn out to be. So it's really interesting, and I was really excited to work with TD Jakes. Very excited, yeah.
Well, I'm so happy for you. Do you have anything else coming up that we can get a sneak peek about? Anything on the stage, music, more movies?
I'm just taking one thing at a time right now. I give everything I do my entire focus. So right now we're promoting Lust, and in the fall I've got another film coming out in theaters, and then a short film on BET. So a lot of things in the acting space. This has got my entire attention at the moment, but you know, we'll see what else the year brings. It's been a really beautiful year of manifestation already for me, having 4 lead roles, to come out. So we'll see. I'm in a point of surrendering to what God wants for my life and just saying yes when I feel strongly pulled in a direction. And that's what that is. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on those other films, and I can't wait to see you more on screen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.